talcum powder is the name of the demon, but then you say it, and all of a sudden nothing happens, and you're like, damn you, Grandma, you screwed up. That's not the demon's name, Grandma. Now I'm gonna get burned to a crisp, Grandma. Alex, I got a question for you from Reddit.
Pineapples.
That's right. As per usual, I am pulling this from the D&D subreddit, and it was posted a couple weeks ago.
Recent.
Yeah, pretty recent. The question is, would it be weird to play my last character's child? My group is finishing our current campaign and prepping for a new one that takes place in the same world, but a few hundred years later. I thought it might be a fun idea to play my elven wizard's child in the follow-up game. Maybe after growing up hearing about their mother's adventures, they finally decided to go out and answer their own call to adventure. I'm just worried that maybe it would be a little weird. I'm not sure. It's also not even the bones of a character yet, just an idea. Okay, that's the...
I would say grandchild. I know it's an elf, so they can live hundreds of years.
Right.
But I think having it a step removed, but in the same lineage, would be better than just, like, straight up, it's my child.
Yeah. Yeah, I also think that's, from a storyline perspective, this would make more sense. Typically, unless there's, like, a tragedy that we're not aware of, and it sounds like this was a pretty successful wizard if they ended a campaign, your kid may know the parent pretty well, but grandparents, maybe not, you know? It's very possible that you could literally have a grandkid that was born after your character is already passed. And so now all that you're hearing about your elven wizard is
stories
from other,
that were passed down.
Yeah, other people who talked about them.
Yeah, I definitely think that's better because, again, as you said, maybe then it's not a first-hand account, it's a second-hand account.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot more liberties to say, oh, you're exaggerating the story or underplaying the story.
Right.
So that it's not like, oh yeah, my mother did all these things in first-hand account from my mother. Instead, it's second-hand accounts from my mother, whose mother did this kind of deal.
Right. So okay, I kind of have an idea of what you could do if you wanted to really run it around this character. You have this younger kid growing up, hearing tales about their grandmother's adventure. It's all, like, written down in scripts and stuff, and there's pictures and stuff.
Trying to recreate grandma's adventures.
Exactly.
To Narnia.
you grow... Yeah, and as you grow up, like a rite of passage, you're like, I'm going to go on that adventure. I'm going to, like, go on that same adventure as Grandma. I'm going to go to those places. I'm going to see those places, and I'm going to, like... this is where I become an adult. Like, I go from being a kid to being an adult, and really by experiencing that. And through the adventure, realize, oh, it's not really the way it was. This is not how it was presented to me.
See, I get what you're saying, but I don't think that would work as well for a D&D game.
Because there's other players in the game?
Yeah, because there's other players.
Right.
If this were the plot of a movie or a book, it would be perfectly fine.
Right.
But whereas there's other players, it's not just about your adventure, it's about their adventure too. So going, yes, my grandmother's thing, and you have to get everyone else on board.
Right.
So
right.
It turns into from I want to see what my grandmother did to the party wants to all do this, so we're going to do that. Right. Now we've veered off course entirely, and it is our own adventure.
Right. So you could probably just take elements of this.
Absolutely.
That along the pathway of whatever you're doing, stuff comes up that, like, maybe would have been referenced about the world and about experiences, and you start to realize when you encounter stuff like that maybe, it's not exactly, oh, okay, your character in this has your grandmother's journal. And so now you encounter something, and as, like, a character development thing, maybe it can help you with gives you advantage on certain kinds of checks. something like that, but like a nature check or a religion check or something. That, oh, well, I don't know what this thing is. Let me refer back to the journal. And then I can see in this journal if it mentions anything about it. And maybe it does. Maybe it has something in there that's useful information. Or
Yeah, the
or
demon's name was really helpful that she wrote down.
Exactly, the demon's name, but this is also where we get to find out if Grandma is being accurate or not. Because, I know that talcum powder is the name of the demon, but then you say it, and all of a sudden nothing happens, and you're like, damn you, Grandma, you screwed up. That's not the demon's name, Grandma. Now I'm gonna get burned to a crisp, Grandma. This was inaccurate information. Why do you have the scorch wounds from your adventure, kid? My child? Oh, because Grandma sucks at writing stuff down, Mom. Really sucks. That's why. This is the fun that you can get from a lineage-based character, I guess.
Yes, yeah.
It's gonna make... Boy, that's gonna be an awkward conversation around the holidays.
Maybe instead it's actually like Grandma left a journal and she had like hidden some ancient like weapon or some treasure somewhere, or been like, yes, I don't need this now, I'm gonna put it there for like whatever reason. You know, she hid something away, stowed it away, and like only left cryptic clues.
Sure.
So like no one could find it, and then you're like, oh shit, treasure hunt.
Yeah, but wouldn't that go back to the problem that you were having before? Wouldn't that just then be that character's specific quest line and all the other characters
It could be.
go on?
I mean, you could always
Could be a jaunt.
say that. Could be a jaunt. You could always say that you like got this group of players together or this party together to go find this treasure.
Right. Yeah.
Like maybe you hired them.
Okay, so yeah, the quest
Or maybe-
is basically... yeah.
Or maybe you're even just playing all friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like your party is just like childhood friends, and they grew up on these stories with you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, guys, I found this map,
Yeah.
and I think Grandma might have had a treasure she hid. You think we should go on an adventure to find it? Sounds like a good plan, guys.
Yeah. And this is like not just a call to adventure, but this is the growing up rite of passage kind of thing. Is that if I find my grandma's treasure, that is like I have proven myself. Like this is the point where I've proven myself. Until you get to the treasure and you find out that it's been stolen, and you don't.
And the
know
treasure
who took
was
it.
the friendships you already had along the way.
Yeah, you open up the treasure chest and it's just platitude about, like, life. It's like the greatest treasure is the people around you. It's like, that's
It's
the
just a
treasure I hid.
participation trophy.
Yeah. But of course, to make this more satisfying for people, it turns out that was a note left by the person who stole the treasure. And now you gotta
Yeah.
figure out who actually took the treasure in the first place. They're off doing who the hell knows what. That'd be fun. I don't think that there's intrinsically a problem with playing a lineage-based character. I think that that's fine. You can do a lot of interesting things with that. I'd like it to be more than just an aesthetic thing, though. Like, you want to be able to utilize that in some way, shape, or form. If you want to do it just a one-to-one, just a parent-child kind of thing, I would think that it would have to be more narratively based because that person's probably still around, or they've had a more, integral connection to each other. Like maybe if you're a wizard, you pretty much learn because your parent told you how to be a wizard. Like that, it would be much less of a fact-finding mission. It would be much more of a straightforward. I'm following in the footsteps of my mom, my dad, whatever, and so I guess I'm gonna go out there. And I think the reason why you and I are talking about doing it as grandparents or later generation is because now it's also kind of a mystery, and it's an exploration of where you came from. Like it's a who are you, who do you think you are kind of thing, where you're learning about your past by going through it. I don't think you've ever played a character that was a lineage-based character, but have you been in campaigns where there was a character that was just somebody had played a character before and then they came in with a character?
Not that I can remember now.
No. I don't think I have either. I don't think I've played in a campaign where there was any previous connection to somebody. I guess the advice that I would give you is that if you're gonna do this, to make it more than just a simple gimmick to explain why your character is there, and have more substance to it, because it's an interesting idea that you can play with and add a lot of character development and story arc to your game by doing so. And if you're not doing that, it feels like you're leaving a lot on the table that could be much more easily explored. It seems like the basic question is, would it be weird to do this? And it's like, it's not something I commonly see, but I don't think it's a weird idea. I think it's a perfectly easily implemented one.
Yeah, I don't think it's weird.
Go for it. Tell us how it works out if you try it. If you have ideas for elements that you want to use with this formula, tell us what you did. Leave a comment down below.
Yeah. Let us know if you played as a grandchild or a great-grandchild or just a child or whatever you did. Let us know.
Yeah. Just, tell us how that worked out. And if your character made it through their own campaign. That'd be good to know.